Hi boys and girls. Today we're going to talk about making our ceramic keepsake. Remember, this is going to help us remember this school year. Now you're going to get a piece of paper, and the piece of clay that you're going to get actually matches exactly. What you're going to do, the very first thing you're going to do actually is write your name on this paper. So I'm going to write my name, or whatever your name is. I'm actually going to put my seat number too. It says teacher's name. You can put your teacher's name and then your seat number if you want to, but you can just put your seat number if you want to, just that. It doesn't, you can do either way. Okay, now again, this matches your keepsake exactly. Now the first thing you're going to do is clean this up, because if it looks like it's going to be sharp when it's clay, it's actually, when it's glass, it's actually going to be sharp, and it's going to cut you every time you pick it up. So this right there. So I'm going to take this around the edges, and I'm just going to smooth it out. Now if you get little pieces, you just put them on your table, but you make sure that you don't put them on the floor, because your foot crushes it, and then it makes all this dust and it gets in your lungs. It's not pretty. So make sure you take care of that. Now see, I don't know if you can see that right there, but that's going to be sharp. So I'm going to smooth that out. Okay, so just take your time. I've got all those little pieces. Make sure that you don't put them on the floor. Make sure you pick them up when you're done making this. So I'm just going to smooth this out. Now you might get this brown clay, and this brown clay actually fires like an orangey clay, kind of like those terracotta pots that you put flowers in. It's going to look something like that. It's very beautiful. It's perfect for this tree because it make a good trunk. That's why we're using this today. Now another time you might get a gray colored piece of clay. And that's a good clay too, because when you're glazing it, it's actually white when it's fired. Now this is going to be fired at about over 1,000 degrees actually. So it's going to get pretty hot, and it's going to be kind of like glass. It's called ceramic. And coffee cups are made of ceramics, and there's all kinds of things. Now you may have done this before, so those of you that have done it before will be a pro at this. But see, that's going to be sharp right there. So I want to make sure I get that. And I want to get that. Okay, now notice I'm only using one finger. I can pick it up, but I only want you to use one finger, because you want to keep it nice and thick like that. Okay, you don't want to make it thinner, because if it's thinner, it has a tendency to break a little bit. And it looks better too. So you want to just take and you want to smooth all this out. Now this little hole right here, that is for the string. Now if you don't plan on hanging it up or wearing it like a necklace, or you don't want to put a string on it, you can close that hole up. But if you want to put a string through it, you need to leave it. Okay, so I'm cleaning this up. This is what I call cleaning it up anyway. All the little imperfections, you just clean it up. Notice I'm not pinching it. Again, I remember I reminded you not to do that. You just want to make sure that you're keeping it nice and thick. Now, once you get this done, you can put it back on your paper, or you can hold it if you want to work with it and hold it in your hand. But if you put it on the table, make sure it stays on this paper. Okay, you got to put it on this paper, because I've had it before where it's been on the table before, and it actually stuck, and we had to actually take something like and just pick it up, and people had to remake it. So make sure you keep it off of the table. Okay, now we're going to talk a little bit about the tools that we're going to use today. I've got a popsicle stick. I've got a marker. I've got a stir stick, and I've got a pencil. Okay, Now these all do different things, so let's see what they can do. First of all, you can draw. If you're lucky enough to bring a pencil today, you can make some lines or draw pictures. Okay, we got to clean that up a little bit too. Or if you take this, well, actually, let's go back to the pencil. You can also make little polka dots. Okay, and you can do it however you want. You don't have to use all of it either. So that's a couple things you could do with the pencil. Actually, there's one more thing. I love this one. You could take the pencil, lay it down flat, and press it, press it, press it, press it, and it makes this really cool pattern. And that's actually one of our learning targets. I can make patterns and designs when using tools to make my keepsake. And we'll talk about that later. So I can do a couple different things. So that's what the pencil does. The pencil does some really cool things. Okay, now the stick, if you lay it flat, this is actually a popsicle stick, and then you push it, that also makes a really cool design. Now and actually you can make something with like this too with the stick. Okay, kind of cool, isn't it? Oops, sorry about that. Okay, I've also got another stick, and this is the stir stick. I could do the same thing that I did down there. Okay, I can also make some bigger dots. Okay, so that does a couple different things. Now, the last thing is this marker. Now, you're not going to open the marker. You're going to keep it like this because you've got that design and you've got that design you can use. So I'm actually going to combine some of my textures and my patterns. All right, look at that. Okay, did you notice that I didn't roll the pencil like this? No, don't do that. Okay, don't do that. Make sure it stays nice and thick. Another thing you want to make sure that you don't do. You don't want to draw too deeply. If you draw too deeply, it's actually going to break right there. Okay, so don't draw too deeply. And the last thing you're going to do is turn this over. Remember, you should have your name and your seat number here. You're going to write your name on the back. So you're going to write your name. Okay. Flip it back over. When you think you got it the way you like it, you're going to pick this up and you're going to leave it on the paper because it should have your name here and your name on the back. Leave it on the paper and put it where your teacher tells you to put it. Okay? Thank you for listening. Have a good day.